Good afternoon. I hope everybody's doing well today. I've been thinking a lot about the church and what the church is during this time of COVID-19 and being closed for in-person activities. We've learned a lot about ourselves as the church, that we can function outside of our building, that we can even worship in new and creative ways. And I would like to share a reading with you from Rolf Jacobson. He's a professor at Luther Seminary, and he wrote this little book called Crazy Talk. He talks about different terms that we often use in the church, and I thought I would share with you his little article about church and what church is. And I hope you enjoy my little sheep here. We often talk about the people of the church being sheep. But here is Professor Jacobson's article. Church. It's a noun. The people whom God has formed, like Adam in the book of Genesis, out of the mud, muck, and mire of human nature. Groucho Marx famously quipped, "I would not join any club that would have someone like me for a member." Pretty much the church is that club, except that the church isn't a club. It is a mission. More on that later. The church can be hard to define, so we'll proceed by process of elimination. The church is not a club of like-minded people, or a club of likable people for that matter. A beautiful building with ornate architecture, stained glass, and an organ, a not-for-profit corporation for God's will, a denomination such as Lutheran, Catholic, and so on. If it's not any of these, then what is the church? The church is a people. But can we be more specific? Again, we'll work by process of elimination. The church is not a group of people who share a system of belief, worship, or faith practices. A group of people who are holier or more righteous than the rest of the world. As Holden Caulfield might have said, this idea would make good old Jesus puke. A group of people who are more spiritual than others. If not these, then what is the church? The church is the assembly of forgiven sinners. Back to Groucho Marx. The church is the people no respectable and sane person would want to be a part of. Sinners, every last one of them. As Paul reminded the church in Corinth, not many of you were wise by human standards. Not many were powerful. Not many were of noble birth. 1 Corinthians 1:26. In other words, not the dean's list, the varsity, or the prosperous. The church is God's creation, not something formed by the agreement or actions of human beings. Hence it is called the body of Christ, not the body of losers. Note how God's action is key in the definition of the church in the ancient creeds, which describe the church as one, holy, Catholic, and apostolic. The oneness of the church refers to the fact that although the church, like amoeba in a petri dish, disagrees and divides, God keeps it spiritually united under the one Christ. The holiness of the church refers to the fact that although the church is full of sinners, God forgives them and makes them holy. The Catholicity, that means universality, of the church, refers to the fact that although human beings set up churchly institutions that are specific to time and place, God unites the church in all ages and places. The church is apostolic, meaning sent, because although it is always turning in on itself and serving its own needs, God is always at work to send it out into the world as part of God's mission to save, love, and bless the world. And this mission, after all, is why the church exists. In fact, the church doesn't have a mission. The church is a mission. The church is part of God's reaching out to love, save, and bless all of creation. On Sunday, we're going to hear a portion from Romans about the church as the body of Christ and how we all have gifts to help one another and serve others. And I thought that article was a good reminder to us, even during this time when we feel so far away maybe from the church building, that we are still the church and we still impact people's lives. We still share the story of Jesus Christ so all may experience God's love. Have a great day and blessings to you. Join us on Sunday at 9:25 for live Facebook Live worship. I won't be posting a video tomorrow, so I will see you on Sunday.